Joining us now is Donna Tatro, a parenting journalist and expert who says there are simple things parents can do to get their kids to buy in to learning from home. So Donna, it's good to talk to you again.
To get the Zoom parents under control is parenting expert Donna Tatro. Donna, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Dr. Ian. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so the summer slide is real. It really happens. When kids get out in June, they have the potential to lose 2.6 months of learning.
Parenting is challenging, frustrating, and it's hard for all of us, and that's why ABC4 News has teamed up with Donna Tatro for Kids Under Construction. Donna is an author, parenting journalist, but you'll probably know her as you just saw there from Dr. Phil's. She is his go-to expert on all things parenting. She's joining us now live via Zoom from Los Angeles. Donna, we are so glad you're here with us today. And before we get to today's topic, let's talk about Kids Under Construction. What is kind of your big message that we're excited to be discussing over the coming months?
Hi, Emily. Thank you so much for having me. Well, Kids Under Construction is really kind of this flipping the script on parenting to really look at this through the kids' eyes. They're under construction. They're not perfect. It kind of gives parents this grace that we don't have to be perfect either.
I love that you use the word grace because I think we all need that with everything that's going on, especially right now. So let's talk about that. That's our topic for today. You know, we've been dealing with the pandemic, things are stressful, and then we had the Capitol riot. So a lot going on, and our little children are seeing it. So let's talk about talking to our pre-K through 5th grade. What should we do? Should we be completely keeping them away from this? What are your ideas to kind of let them know what's going on, but do it correctly?
Well, what we need to do is we really need to remember that these kids are at a stage where they really shouldn't be looking at the news or consuming it. The issue though is that now more and more kids who are in the 4th, 5th grade, 6th grades do have access to phones and to the news. And so what we really have to do as parents is monitor and really be present. But certainly young children should not have access to this news.
Now, I love how on your ideas here, the first one is to connect with your child. That's a topic, I think, and an idea that could really go for anything. But why do you feel when it comes to these big, heavy topics, it's so important to have that connection?
You know, because right now our kids are afraid and they don't know what to trust. And so when a child says to you, Mommy, Daddy, will you play with me? That's code for, will you connect with me? And so what we need to do as parents is really think about what our kids are up against. I mean, this is an unprecedented time, and we really need to be present and to connect. We can go from Zoom to Zoom with work and school and kind of just cross paths and not connect. So we really need to focus and be present, whether you meet for lunch, whether you meet for an after-school snack together to talk. But also, I really think it's important to be curious and ask your child, what would you like to do to connect?
I love that connection, and that goes right into our next topic of what our children can do. That's a question that everybody has, but when it comes to our little ones, while we're connecting with them, while we're discussing what's going on in our world, I love the idea of focus on what our kids can do. So talk to us more about that.
Yeah, I think it's really important to empower our children. Right now, they can't do a lot. They're basically confined to their homes. They can't go to school. They can't see their friends. So what can they do? They can actually be helpers in the world. And so I think it's really important to teach your children at this point. What you can do is you can actually write a note to your teacher and say, thank you for being there for me, for helping me through this time. You can have your child, you know, help neighbors gather food for the homeless. There are a lot of things that can empower our children at this time where they can feel that they can make a difference and that they're not just witnessing what is going on in this world.
And this opens up a next avenue of taking a look at empathy and an opportunity to take a situation that's so heavy, but to turn it into a teaching moment of allowing our kids the opportunity to do something for others. Now, you kind of already mentioned that, but let's talk more about really this idea of empathy and the opportunity to kind of welcome our children into this aspect of their lives.
I think it's really important to do a deep dive into empathy at this point. We know from science that empathy is a skill that you can grow. And so we need to practice this in our parenting. And I think you can do that with young kids through books. I mean, you can teach them about the government. You can teach them about rhetoric. You can teach them about values. Like, let's talk about our family values. Do we really think this violence is acceptable? Do we really think that this talk, the way politicians and others are speaking, that's not how we speak in our home, is it? No, we have compassion for others. Use books with young children. Using books is really, really important. And there are so many books out there that can talk about government, about citizenship, and about empathy.
Okay, we want to pull some graphics up onto the screen right now and kind of go over these topics that Donna has shown us. Such an interesting way to kind of look at a situation which is rough and really bring it to a bigger picture, connecting with your child, limiting access to the news we talked at their beginning, focusing on what our children can do, and then this deep dive into empathy. And Donna, finally, the final one here is flexibility is your superpower. I think that's something we need reminded of every single hour, but especially in this topic, why do you think that is so important to remind ourselves?
I really think so, because I think that all of us are going through so much, parents and kids alike, families as well. And so I think that if you can remember to be flexible, you know, if your kid doesn't want to get on a Zoom for a class because they're feeling down or just too much going on in their world, it's okay. They don't have to jump on that Zoom. You can get that excuse for the teacher. I think it's really important to think about what we can do and to show our children that we can be malleable, because if we can, then that'll allow them to know that they can have some flexibility in their lives. It doesn't have to be so rigid. That reduces the stress and anxiety for our children. So be flexible. And you know what? It takes the pressure off you as a parent too, to be flexible. It's okay. You don't have to be so rigid.
Okay, Donna, we appreciate you joining us today, and this is just the beginning. So today we talked about our little kids dealing with this violence, but we're going to have you back on Friday, talk about our teenagers. Things get a little trickier when it comes to the teens. So if you have any questions at home for Donna, send us a video question to kidsunderconstruction@abc4.com. We might just answer your question right here on TV, and all of us learning together to be better parents. So author, journalist, parenting advisor, Donna, thank you so much for joining the ABC4 team. You can also check out her podcast, Kids Under Construction, on our website, abc4.com. And Donna, we will see you right back here on Friday.